Hey friends, welcome back to another Sunny Side Design video. We are thinking spring today and had some inspiration walking through the dollar store the other day, and you are not going to believe what this lady here is going to do with a mop pad and a pizza pan.
You ready? That's going to be my spring
You're going to freak out
decor
because it's going to be amazing. So be sure to subscribe to our channel. Tap the links below for product information, and you better watch this because you're gonna freak out.
Okay, so first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take the duster mop, put that off of there, and we're going to just use the legs of this Easter bunny here. We're just gonna cut those off. Alright, so I've got some craft wire here. We're going to turn these little legs from that little toy bunny from Dollar Tree into the ears of my bunny that I'm going to put on my little spring Easter decor here that I'm making. So I'm just going to thread up the wire. I want to get it all the way to the tip of the leg there, and then I'll just trim it. And I do want it even with here because when I glue this on, I want it to have the stability to hold it on. So let's just do the other one while we're at it. Thread that up. Easier said than done. It's getting caught. There we go. Okay. Get it up to the point there, give it a little twist, and then I'll just cut off the remaining bit of wire. Okay. Now I'm just going to use hot glue. Just going to seal that. Whoops, let's put it back here where you can actually see it. Let's put that little hot glue right there. Okay, do this one up. Okay, the next part is our little duster, microfiber duster pad. And so what I want to do is I want to kind of scrunch this up to kind of form a head for my bunny. So I'm going to do that with just some string that I have. I'm going to do that on the back side. And I'll look at it and see if that's tight enough. That looks pretty good. So I will just tie that in a knot. Ends. Let's cut that off too. We don't need the tag showing. Okay. All right, so it's starting to look like a bunny. All right, now we're going to just glue on the ears. This is really just a fast and easy craft here. Super fast and easy. Just using those simple dollar store items. So a little hot glue right here. There. And a little bit on this side. All right, so it's starting to look like a bunny now. So I've got these little pom-poms. I picked them up. They're little fur pom-poms at Hobby Lobby. And so what I'm going to do is just throw a little hot glue. Actually, I'm going to put a lot of hot glue on this part. We're sticking like fur to fur. So try to kind of open this up a little bit and add my little tail. I'm gonna hold that there for a few seconds to make sure that that bonds really well. And then we're going to actually place this bunny on that pizza pan, and that's going to be my little spring decor that we can hang from the door. Okay, let's just have a little peek at what this is starting to look like. So you've got the little tail, the head, and the ears. All right, next off will be the pizza pan. We're going to transform that as well.
So I'm just going to give the pizza pan a coat of black chalkboard paint, and I will do 2 coats of paint on this so it's good and solid, and then make sure I get the edges good. I did notice that once mine was dry and I was working with it, it did chip off in a couple spots. And so I would recommend that if you're going to do this on the metal pan like this, that you actually put a little primer on first and then your chalkboard paint. I think it would adhere a little bit better.
All right, I've got my pizza pan painted with some chalkboard paint, and I've got my little bunny here is all made. And this is about the placement I'm going to put him on the pan. And now what I want to do is just have a little bit of lettering on here that just says Hello Spring. And because I don't really love my handwriting, I have created my words with my computer, and then I just printed them out on my printer. And what I'm going to do, so I've got Hello Spring. I'm gonna figure out where I want those placed. And then a little tip, if you don't think you have great handwriting and you don't want to write it yourself, is I'm going to rub the back side with some chalk. Like this. Do you remember doing this with when you were a kid with pencil to transfer on your pattern? And I'll bring this back over here. Place my sign where I want it to be. And then you could just go over it with a pencil. I'm just going to use a stylus to trace my letters. And then I can get perfectly spaced, neat letters, and I don't have to go, oh, I hate the way my handwriting is. So I'm just gonna do that little cheater method. You see? Oh, look how great it's on there. And then we do the spring as well. Okay, I'll line up spring where I want it to be. And then just outline those letters. And then I'm just gonna go over it with my chalk marker. You could just go back over it in chalk. I just thought it would be a little more, if you've used a chalk marker, you know it's a little more permanent and solid than just using chalk. So I'm gonna use that instead of just chalk. You can see this is really pretty quick to get your lettering just the way you want it to be. All right. So when you're using a chalk marker, this is just the one I have, you want to shake it and make sure that your ink, I guess it's ink, I'm not even really sure, but make sure it's mixed well. And then you prime it on a piece of scratch paper. So I'm just gonna take this, and you just want to push the tip in until the chalk starts to flow out. And then I'm just going to simply trace. Now I'm left-handed, and so it's always easier for me to start from the right side and move left when I'm writing something like this, so I don't drag my hand in it. So I'm just going to outline this. And my tip's been used a bit by my grandkids, so it's not a real fine point anymore. That's all right. And if you really wanted this to be permanent, you could just use a paint pen as well. I just thought, you know, this way if I do want to ever change it up, I can. I've got a few spots where it got a little wider than I want it to be on the R, and so what I'm going to do is just take a Q-tip that I'm going to just dip in some water. and then kind of twist out so it's just damp. And then I'm going to come in here and just clean up those edges and make it a little bit thinner.
Now I'm ready to punch a couple of holes in the pizza pan here for tying my cord to hang it from. And if you happen to have one of these tools, it's called a crocodile. It's from my scrapbooking tools, but it will actually punch a hole right through metal pretty easily. You just line it up where you want it to go and give it a squeeze. Now, if you don't have one of these tools, you could also use a drill to drill your hole, or you could use a nail and punch a hole through it with the nail as well. Now I'm ready to put my cord through. I'm actually using kind of a chunky weight baker's twine that I already had on hand, and it matched my little carrots that I want to embellish it with. I found it kind of difficult to get through the hole. It was a little bit fat, so I used the stylus to push it through the hole.
Just going to tie a knot here in the end of my cord. And this is just some chunky baker's twine that I've had pulled from my card making stash. So ribbon, any cording would be cute along here. And then let's just trim that up. Next, I want to just take a towel and just kind of clean up the chalk that was on there. So I've got my bunny positioned where I want him to be, and I'm just going to lift him up and just put some hot glue here to secure him to the little tray here. Now I'm just going to add a few little spring embellishments. I think I'll add a few little carrots from the Dollar Tree. Found these cute little carrots that I'm just going to add, and then possibly some trim or flowers. Haven't quite decided yet. I wanted to do some sort of a border around the edge, and I was toying with the idea of just like a braided cord or something like that, but I remembered I had these half wooden beads left over from another project, and I've decided that that's what I'm going to put on here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue and then just start placing these around the edge of this little pizza pan. And I think it's going to give it kind of that little bit of boho flavor. I think it's going to be really cute to just add that little bit of the natural wood beads on there. All right, my final embellishment I want to add is just a couple of carrots. I did do a little fold of some polka dot ribbon right there, like it's a little bit of his scarf or a tie. And then I'll just add these little carrots here. And then it will be ready to go on my front door.
How clever is this craft? Would you think to use a pizza pan and a duster pad? I wouldn't.
But it turned out to be a pretty cute bunny,
Yeah,
and I
it's
am,
so cute.
I am pleased with it. And I just think it looks kind of fun and kind of a craft that the kids are going to get a
Yeah.
kick out of when they see it on my front porch.
Yeah, so go run to Dollar Tree and grab your stuff
Grab your
before
supplies
it flies off the shelves.
before they're gone.
Whoa, I
Whoa.
suppose.
So we're pretending it's spring, but we really have a good
Yeah.
foot of snow on the
We
ground.
do.
But
We're sick of snow.
anyway, thanks for watching another Sunnyside Design video. You'll find information about products we used in our description. You'll find links to our social media. Please follow us, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to see what we're working on ahead of time, make sure you're following us on Instagram. And as always here at Sunnyside Design, we hope to bring your home to the sunny side of the street.